Hey guys, Big Dave here. Today we're looking at some clarinet equipment, and I just wanted to show you some of the things that I use if I have to go out and work a job on clarinet. Well, obviously, the first thing you need to do is make sure you have your clarinet, and I use a Selmer 10G, which I've had for a really long time. I bought it in 1979. And I guess it tells you if you buy a good clarinet, it should last a really long time. And I've used this on thousands of jobs. I guess I don't even know. So long I've had it. And my mouthpiece. Everybody always wants to know about those mouthpieces. I just use a really basic mouthpiece. This is a Van Doren B46, and I have several of these, which I'll show you in a few minutes about them. This one is very slightly refaced. So if I take the reed off, you might be able to see that there was some light work done up around the tip and stuff. It just makes it blow a little bit freer, and it gives a little more depth to some of the notes. Now, I've been refacing mouthpieces a long time, so this one I actually did up for myself. Actually, this one is one of those narrow beak mouthpieces. It's the only one I have, made by Van Doren, and I don't really know what they call this, but it has a more narrow beak to it sideways, so you could get it into your mouth at a little different angle. Okay, so moving on, have a bag of reeds. Now these are reeds. I mostly always play Van Doren 3.5 V12. They seem to work the best for me. I've used other reeds. I like 4.5 Hemke's, but for the most part, these are the ones I like. And these are already tested, and I might have done a little work shaving them or something, whatever needed to get done in order for them to play properly. So they're already tested, and I keep them in this small bag. So those are my go-to reeds. When one of them is no longer usable, I start up a new one. I have a knife to work on my reeds, just a 2-inch knife, simple knife. And by the way, just this week they're talking about allowing you to bring a small knife, onto airplanes again. Isn't that sound like fun? Or should I say, isn't that a great idea? Anyhow, you always want to have your cat ready to get your reeds more mixed up than they already are. So we'll get back to her in a minute. Pencils, and I always have pencils, and I bring a pen too to sign the contractor sheet, because sometimes you're not going to get paid unless you sign the contractor sheet in pen. So that's very important. Pencils, always have a pencil for your rehearsal. And my other big pet peeve here, speaking of pets, let's go back to see what she's actually doing with these reeds and caps and things. All right. Anyhow, cleaning cloths. I have a long Van Doren clarinet swab. It's silk, and the good thing about these is that there is the ribbon runs all the way through the swab. Some of them, the ribbon is only attached to the end of the swab, and they have a tendency to rip off and get stuck in your clarinet. This is a really bad thing. You don't want to be needing your clarinet, and all of a sudden half of the swab is stuck in the clarinet. That's why I kind of stay with these Van Doren swabs. They're very durable. I don't get what's going on here. I can never do anything without help. So, okay, anyway. Thanks, Sasha. Now, if we look inside the bell, there's nothing in it. So when you put the bell in the case, that's a good place where you can stick your swab. So you always have room to put a swab. My barrel. This happens to be the original barrel. It's the 10G barrel. I don't always use this barrel, which brings me to my box of goodies that comes along with me. If I'm doing any kind of serious clarinet job, in the box I have extra reeds, more 3.5 V12s, and even more V12s just in case. And I also always carry a box of half-strength harder. This is some 4s, just in case I might need to use them. I have 2 more barrels. This is a 65 millimeter barrel. It's 1 millimeter shorter. You can see the number. I guess you can see the number here. This is 1 millimeter shorter. There it is. Than my normal 10G barrel, which is 66 millimeters. Now, if you look at the bottom of the barrel, normally it will say on there what the length is. Actually, this one does not. So, but this is a 66 millimeter normal barrel. Sometimes you need a slightly shorter barrel to match the pitch of some of the, if the pitch tends to be a little higher for whatever reason. One of the worst things to do is be playing a whole job and having to squeeze constantly to bring your pitch up. It distorts your tone. This is a buffet barrel that plays really well on my clarinet. It's an R13 barrel. It's also 66. It has a little sweeter sound than the Selmer barrel. You'd be surprised changing barrels, can give you a different tonal color. And I have here another B46. Now this guy, this one is stock right out of the box. And I have a Rovner ligature on here, and sometimes I use this just as it is. It just happens to play good. I have another B46, but this one, I'll show you the difference. The tip is really thinned out, and it's also opened up a hair at the tip. I think you can see that pretty good this way. This is definitely louder and has more of an abrasive tone. And sometimes I use this for Dixieland or certain big band jobs where if I need to have that Artie Shaw type sound, I might use this. So I do use a few mouthpieces, but basically they're all B46s. One is stock, and 2 of them are dressed up a little bit. I always like to have this little flashlight with me. You push the button, and it lights up. Because in the dark, you can see something, like, again, if you're in a dark place or the theater or whatever, and all of a sudden you need to see, and you're not seeing well, you can just shine the light, and you're good. I like to bring a big eraser to make erasures on my music. This, I guess I need a new one. This has erased too many books already. But sometimes they tell you got to erase your book. So that's what I use. Lots of cork grease, just like in the saxophone video. You'll always see I have cork grease. And pencils. Always have pencils. Okay, so it appears that Sasha has borrowed the swab and is she took it over across the bed. There it is. Anyway. All right, so that's all for today, and I hope this is some help to you. And there'll be other videos up. I'm going to do a video on doubling on the clarinet and things like that. And I hope this was helpful to you. And have a good day.